Today, we continue our talk about pretentiousness with Fishstick from I Don't Know Radio. Now, if you didn't check out the last conversation, just check it out. It's essential. Or if you want to see the live video, it's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/We Need to Talk Show. Also, if you want to check out I Don't Know Radio, all the links are in the description. They're a great show, quite amazing. But, hey, let's just get into it.
I want each of you to rate your self-confidence on a scale of 1 to 7.
10.
Okay, 10 for Steve.
Mm-hmm. It depends on with what?
In general, if you're let's paint a better picture. You're in a situation. You go to a meeting.
Ooh, Picasso.
Nate, we've established. Let's keep going with your computers.
Okay.
Steven, what is something that you know that you feel very confident that you know a lot about?
How much time you got?
Okay.
Keep going.
Go ahead and pick one.
I got it right here.
All right. So you're going to a meeting for that specific thing.
Yeah.
And people are going around, milling around talking. And someone comes up to you and asks you a question. Mm-hmm. How confident do you feel in this social situation in a gathering of people who know a lot about the same thing you know a lot about? How confident do you feel answering a question or giving information about it?
With computers, not very much, because the thing with computers is, okay, this is technical, but it branches off into a million different subfields.
Right.
Like computer programmers, they might know a lot about this one language here, or this one kind of design kind of philosophy and everything. But if you start talking about another field, like say PHP, then it's like,
Right. So pick something super simple like computer case modding.
Okay, I'm going to say, let's say physics. I'm not like an expert, but let's say I'm in a room of like amateurs.
Yeah, there we go. You're at a.
So I would say I'm, let's say, 8, 9 in confidence.
Out of 1 to 7, as established before.
Yeah, 8 or 9.
8 or 9, okay. Yep. And Steve, you'd be about the same?
No, I'd be 10 for sure.
Would you describe yourself as a pretentious person?
No, because I'm not afraid to say that I don't know. And that's why I feel confident in answering any question, because if I don't know the answer, then I'm just going to say, I don't know. It's a great question. Let's find out.
I didn't know where this game was going, but I feel like that's a big point that we can turn on. Is being pretentious not being able to say, I didn't know that, or I was wrong?
Well, yeah, for sure. Obviously.
Are you being pretentious right now?
Of course, that's not for me to judge. I think the weight of that is on the listener, is it not?
See, that wouldn't hold up in a court of law, though. You can't put the burden of proof on the person who was the victim of pretension.
No, because the victim of pretension is the one being pretentious. They're the one getting the negative effect of it.
You're not. If you are pretentious at me,
yeah.
I am not being pretentious.
No, I agree. And that's why I'm the one getting the negative effect, because the negative effect is you feeling negatively towards me.
No.
So that's me getting the negative effect.
I think the person who is being pretentious kind of like is affecting the other person. So if I'm being pretentious to somebody, I feel great, usually, unless there's social implications after the fact, right? And the person's like, oh, you're so weird and awkward. But if, let's say, the person just goes along with it and doesn't say anything, the pretension is affecting the person I'm talking to, because they're like in an awkward position. It's like when someone talks to you like way too long, like you meet somebody like the grocery store and they start like, oh, those are interesting pears right there. And then they just keep talking about like the grandkids and how.
Wait, what? Are there grandkids pears?
No, but have you never been in that situation?
Yeah, that situation is, I've had it way too much. They just keep going on, and then it goes like to subjects you would never think about.
But that's not pretentious. That's not reading the room.
True, but when you're being pretentious, you keep going on, right? And you're being pretentious to that person. That person's kind of stuck in that situation like, okay, yeah.
Why are you stuck in that situation? Just tell them, I'm not interested in talking about this.
So that is where it can come back on you. But let's say someone's too shy to come back. Like, you're just going to be pretentious for them. They're going to keep accepting it. And it's like, okay, how do I get out of this situation? And then they're just like, kind of, they're just getting the burden of it.
I think that's their burden that they're choosing to take. So many things in life can be resolved with just simple communication. Just be honest. Just be honest, people.
But that's why pretension is a tricky thing to define. Because in its definition, going off the one definition we use, the end of it is if you're not. Mm-hmm. And it's also something that the listener would receive from the other person and identify. Mm-hmm. So this is incredibly tricky because we talked a lot about long form pretension when you expound on something to try and sound smart. But there's also short time span pretension where if someone is doing something and you just walk by and you're like, you wouldn't know, and then you
Passive
walk
pretension.
away.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
pretentious as fuck, you know? And you're like, oh, who's that fucking guy? You know?
That's meter.
That's
There he goes.
Okay, going back to the audio example, this is mostly just of one guy I knew, but he might see this right here.
Call him out by name.
Isaac. So he might see this. He's like, "Oh, that's a mess right there. I don't know what the fuck you're doing."
Yeah.
Right. So that's high level pretension because he's saying, "Oh, I'm such an expert in audio and everything like this, and this is like, what is this?"
You know what? I think we can list out stages of pretension.
Okay.
So 3 stages of pretension, 3 different
Passive.
flavors. So the first one, the lowest level,
Passive.
I feel like passive pretension.
That's me. You drive a fancy car, you pretend you have a lot of money, you walk around with your dick out. That's me. That's
okay.
passive percent.
So that's level 1 on the what shape should this be? It's got to have a cool shape.
It's a square.
Okay, the pretension
It's
square.
It's gonna say like an octagon.
The pretension octagon is divided into 4 sections. It's not even, but
My favorite way to divide an octagon into 4.
so the lowest level of the pretension octagon is passive pretension, which is in appearance or not you directing at anyone else, but you broadcasting pretension to the world.
What about like secondhand pretension, where I show off to you to show that I'm an expert on something, and you then tell somebody else that I'm an expert on it, even though I'm not. Now they're getting my pretension through you.
I feel like this pretension octagon might have some radiating rings.
Let's add some more corners.
Yeah, let's get the layers,
All
and then
right,
we
so
can work our way out.
This is a pretension dodecahedron.
Okay, so in the one direction, we get the first layer of pretension. What's the next layer up of being pretentious from the passive pretension? Is that...
I don't know, but their dick's out. That's for sure.
Okay, the dick's out. The dick having people have their dick out. And I feel like the second layer would be when someone who does...
My favorite thing about my show is making people say things that they had no business saying. They're like, I would never say that. Why did I just say that?
I'm just trying, being accommodating.
I know. Politeness is very good. The social... Okay, go ahead.
Second level, I think that's actually.
And coming from a place of genuine helpfulness? No, because that wouldn't...
So there's condescension, right? The condescension is that you're better than them a bit,
Right.
But it's like it comes off as correcting or like they know better, but it's not like it's not full force. It's like, well, actually, that's not right at all.
I feel like there's a grade between once you start pouring condescension into the dodecahedron. I feel like those would be in the top 2 tiers because that, to me, being condescended to just instantly makes me mad. I don't know about you guys, but like if someone's like talking to me like a child, I just want to
actually,
throw them.
it makes you angry, not mad.
Exactly. No, but I feel like condescension is going to be one of the higher portions. Although what you said about actually, like, what is the second, I feel like the top 2 are going to be easy to define. I feel like this is the hardest one, the second layer.
So I think it's like a short little burst, and it's not very much, but something that someone has some sort of sense of superiority over. And it's not like, it comes across pretentious, but it's like, oh, wow, they're kind of a dick on that.
What if it's hyper specific? Like, that they know a lot about that one specific thing, and they always make it, like, it always happens to come up in any conversation because they know about this. They actually know about it, but they want everyone to know that they know about it.
So that would be redirection. So you have broadcasting, which is the first one, and then redirection, sort of. Yeah. Everyone bring it back to the one thing they know about.
We're getting phrases. Someone write a fucking article on this.
We should draw this dodecahedron.
Yeah, let's draw it. All right, Nate, in After Effects.
After Effects, yeah.
So the third level, I feel like, is when condescension comes in.
Okay.
That's my feeling. I don't know. We're inventing this. We are on the fringe of psychology here.
Well, this is the thing I think. I think that pretension has elements of condescension at every level because it's you always have the air superiority or a greater knowledge or something. So there's always condescension in there.
That's a really good point, actually.
But whether I think there's a difference between being pretentious and being condescending. It's kind of connected, but it's kind of like a gray area. Like there's a gray area between condescension and pretension.
That makes sense. It's kind of like all rectangles are squares,
Yeah.
except the opposite. So yeah, you're right. Condescension is kind of sprinkled into the whole thing as a little bit. So what is so we have broadcasting that you're better than everyone subtly. Then there's redirecting everything back to one point that you know about to try and sound smart.
Actually, I'm going to add one more point here. So I think the difference between condescension, like let's say pure condescension and pure pretension, is that when you condescend to somebody, you're trying to make them feel bad, right?
And when you're trying to be pretentious, it's about you.
It's about making you feel good.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's really interesting.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Come on, Meter. That was a good point.
I agree with that 100%. I'm getting that tattooed.
I mean, but that's a pretentious thing to get tattooed.
No, it'd be pretentious if Nate did it on me.
That'd be
Let me tattoo this one thing that I said onto your body forever.
That would be great.
That would be really
I feel like both of them are about making yourself feel good.
Well, okay. But the intention with condescension is to make the other person feel bad.
Pretty conceited right now.
Of course, this is who I am. I admitted at the beginning.
It's your fault that you don't understand who I am.
Listen, I have a YouTube channel. I have a podcast. I write music. I am very pretentious. I am not afraid to admit it. And
so maybe just to kind of refine what my opinion of the difference between the two would be, in conjunction to what you're saying, is that one is more about the other person not knowing something, and one is more about that you do know something, like you know more. So like it's not necessarily about trying to make somebody feel away. Both of them I feel like are trying to make yourself feel bigger. But I feel like one is like, oh, you don't know this, and one is like, I do know this, and you need to know that I know this.
That's the same line that Nate drew that you disagreed with.
Yeah, no, but I said it better.
Okay.
Well, I don't agree with that though, exactly though, because
See?
A lot of people who are condescending to somebody, they might know that you know the thing, and they're being condescending to kind of, just be an asshole. So for instance, like I worked at a place where we're doing like box taping and stuff like that, like shipping stuff out, and it's an easy job. But then this person came up to me and, just to show that she was like the queen bitch, and she like, oh no, this is how you do it right here. And she wasn't doing that because I didn't know how to do boxes and she knew better. She was doing it to try to like put me in my place and say, I'm better than you and you're doing things wrong. Not that you actually are, but I just want to show you that I am queen bitch.
I think that's neither of those things then.
Is that stage 3 of the dodecahedron? Is that needless correction? Do you think? Is that what the third level of being pretentious is?
So I think that's being condescending.
Oh, is that though? Because like you said, she wasn't condescending.
So I guess my point isn't necessarily like that they don't know, and the person who's being condescending thinks that they don't know, but that's how they're acting, is like that person doesn't know. Regardless of whether they know or not, that's kind of irrelevant to their point of, I'm showing you because you don't know. Whether it's true or not, whether they believe it or not, I think is irrelevant. Versus the opposite being like you are saying that you know something regardless of whether they know or not pretending that they don't know.
This is getting really confusing.
Listen, we always get to semantics.
I tried to follow that. I really did.
I lost to get to the second no.
So if you're pretentious, then you're telling somebody something because you know it. And if you're...
No, you don't. That's in the definition.
But that's what you want them to believe.
Okay.
So you're saying, I know this thing, and so I'm telling you because I know this thing. And the other is being... I keep getting it all mixed up in my head what the word is. But being condescending is like you're telling them, I know this thing, and now you're going to know this thing because you don't know it. Even if you know that they know it, you're telling them you don't know it.
Right.
And I think that is the difference. And of course, there's overlap. It's a Venn diagram, but...
Yeah.
Is it the end goal of it that's different?
It's the intention of it that's different. One is to build yourself up. One is to tell... Oh, okay. So Nate was right all along.
Yes.
Oh my
okay.
God. Thank you. Oh my fucking...
But I think ultimately, like, they're both...
I just knocked over my Monster Energy onto your carpet. Let me go get a paper towel.
I'll get a paper towel.
Okay.
You don't know where they're there.
No, I don't. I realized that as I said it. I was like, I'm just going to stand up and walk through this man's house and like find all your dark, dirty secrets.
You already fingered his hole.
Yeah, there's so there is presumably central vacuum here, which I've always thought was like the height of luxury.
It is.
But there's just like a bunch of stuff in the hole.
yeah, that's what.
That was really fast.
See, I got something to experiment with. Oh, actually, I'm talking to the mic.
So we're all on the same page now.
So Fishstick gave me an idea for something to experiment with, because I have this like vacuum hole, and he was like very amazed by it, and he kept on talking about it, and I'm like, oh, that's a thing. Okay, that's very cool. So he said that if you put like a hose in it or put like something in it, like it will suck. And I think it might just be the right level if I get on my knees. That maybe it could suck something special.
Oh.
I walk away for 2 seconds. And we're on this, huh?
Yeah, no, we're talking about getting a vacuum going.
Yeah.
So the third level of pretension is letting your house suck you off.
Listen, that's called the height of luxury. And if kings in the past could get their house to suck them off, they would. No doubt.
That reminds me, this is a sidetrack, but did you ever see that meme where it's like, take a shower? You mean get pissed on by my own house? No thanks. I thought that was very good.
That is a good one.
I think level 2.5 is correcting people.
Is coming up with 0.5 of a point of someone else's.
I think we should just call it 3 because we only have one more after that, and then we've defined pretension for the ages.
Well, I think we've defined 3 like 3 times.
I'm a fan of needless correction, like you said earlier, but what's your 2.5?
2.5. Oh, it's needless correction, but it's needless correction on words. Like you say, oh, that's a great window right there. And they say, that's not a window, that's a...
Portcullis.
Portcullis. It's like, okay.
It's not a sink, it's a farm sink.
Get away from me, meter.
Yeah, what was the farm sink? Yeah. That's a thing, right?
It's a big sink, it turns out. There's nothing special, it's just a big fucking sink. I'm done. I'm not talking about that.
You know what? I take back everything I said earlier about you're not going to need to yell on the show. You needed to yell on the show.
I do.
You were right.
I turned away from the mic that time.
I know, it was beautiful. It's like you're professional.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Is there a level of pretension that's like just straight talking down to somebody? Like being like obviously you are way more of an audio professional than me, and me being like, oh wow, it's almost like you're a professional.
No, that's funny.
Well, yeah, but that's because it's me saying it. I mean, if I was saying it unironically, without the self-awareness of knowing that I'm being pretentious.
Right, but the other part of it is me as a person, and I'm not, and this is going to sound like I'm being pretentious and virtue signaling, but like I don't think I'm right or know best by any stretch. I know a lot about how audio works, and audio that's bad for the stream, isn't it? I know a lot about it, but I'm not ever willing to be like, no, I know all of it, because I fucking don't, you know?
It's my favorite.
I think we arrived to level 4, which is like berating pretension. So someone comes in, it's like the studio here, it's like, you have Tascam. Tascam is not... Oh, Tascam's never like a good brand. You should always use, what's a good brand? Behringer? Behringer. Oh my god, these headphones won't do. These are not mastering
headphones. If you'll
headphones.
allow me to be pretentious for a moment, Behringer is definitely not the best brand to use as an example.
Okay.
Behringer buys great equipment but puts it in cheap cases to make it more affordable. It started as one guy in his garage.
So level 3 is...
This is level 2.5 right here, by the way.
Me right now.
So level 2.5 is being pretentious to make a specific point. Level 3 is being pretentious to try and help somebody, but being so overbearing that you're not. And level 4 is being pretentious just to be pretentious.
Yeah. So so
100% self-aggrandizing, no thought about the other person.
So level 1 on the pretension octagon, broadcasting.
Yeah.
Level 2, forgot what it was.
Me.
Redirection?
Redirection.
Yep.
So broadcasting, redirection, 2.5. Let's call it 3 out of 4 because there was only 4. Because we went from 2.5 to 4.
Listen, that's how the scale works.
Okay.
Well, the scale has to have pretension
Listen,
involved in it,
let me tell
right?
you about the pretension scale you're inventing.
Okay. Broadcasting, redirection, 2.5 was the needless advice.
Yeah.
And then 4, because fuck 3 and 3.5. 4 was the berating, just over the top, unprompted, unrequested, unsolicited.
It's
I know.
actually 3.9.
Oh, we could say smelling your own farts.
I'm going to kill you, Meter. Yes. Yeah. Fart huffing.
Oh, okay. So South Park.
Yeah.
We finally started every episode. This is like every online, what's that rule? Every online debate will eventually turn to Hitler. Every podcast conversation will eventually turn to South Park.
You said that what we just said was 3.9,
Yeah.
so then I posit that 4 is getting sucked off by your own house.
Okay,
That's just my 2 cents.
and that's official. That's somebody draw that chart for us, please, and we'll post it on our wall.
And don't do it in MS Paint. There are plenty of free graphical editors.
Listen, okay, GIMP is awful.
See, that would have been 2.5, right? Because that was needless advice. Don't use MS Paint. GIMP's not awful. Get the fuck out.
GIMP is pretty bad.
GIMP's great.
No.
See, that is my level of pretension, where I say something that's obviously false just to try and get a rise out of you.
What's a better free alternative than GIMP?
I think you should,
MS
you know,
Paint?
God, get fucked.
Paint 3D.
if you want to be a real artist, you should actually pay for it. Like everyone else, all the professionals, they use Photoshop. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Paint 3D. Set them off.
Adobe's not getting a red cent out of me.
Paint 3D.
Paint 3D is the fucking worst thing ever.
MS Paint is better than Paint 3D.
Microsoft Clippy is better than Paint 3D.
That's not even a real thing.
It was.
Like in 1996.
Yeah, dog. How old are you? Okay, boomer. Wait, that's opposite. That's to myself. I'm 25. Anyway, we've made a pretension octagon. I feel like, or dodecahedron. You would.
But is it like, does it
It's not a
circle
circle
back in on itself?
No,
though?
it dodecahedron's back in on itself.
Okay, but to the point where like you get so far into pretentious that you're no longer pretentious.
Oh, it's like an Ouroboros of pretension.
Yes, there you go. That's what
What's
I'm
more
looking at.
pretentious than an Ouroboros? A snake eating its own tail.
Yeah, I know. It's eating its own ass.
Yeah.
I think we have to make this dodecahedron fourth dimensional now.
Can we, just like memes.
Fourth dimensional means.
The deep fried 4-dimensional pretension dodecahedron.
Can we
This
have
will be in textbooks.
Can we have an Ouroboros that's not a snake but a house, so that it's eating its own ass? Because if the fourth level is is being blown by your own house, what if a house is blowing itself?
That's just an HVAC system, dog. That's what it does.
Listen, I'm saying HVAC's pretty hot. The H stands for hot.
Yeah.
All right, Nate, we broke fish stick.
Yep, fish stick's dead now.
It only took a little bit.
My new name is Tim.
Maybe like 50 minutes, an
It
hour.
took 48 minutes and 36 seconds.
I think we succeeded. High five.
Pretension.
What the fuck was that? That was like the huge, like,
Thank you.
family high five.
Oh, a huge family high five?
No, manly.
Yeah, thank
Manly.
you. I love my huge manly high fives.
Okay.
I high-fived myself because you ignored me.
Yeah, good.
My high-fives are better anyway.
I'm sure that's true.
I feel a lot smarter after doing this.
Yeah.
I feel like we did some good work here.
I think we really helped a lot of people today. Discover what pretension is, what a condescending is.
We've created a new helpful diagram that'll probably end up in the health textbooks in the future.
Yup. Mm-hmm. Right
Deep
next to all the stuff about Christopher Columbus.
I remember learning about the deep fried 4-dimensional pretension dodecahedron in school.
My favorite part was where the house sucked that guy.
I really wish they hadn't used pictures.
So to come to a wrap here. So
Yeah.
I'm wearing Podcast NH. I'm a Podcast NH. So that's not too pretentious, right? Jason Elmy from Shit Happens When You Pray Naked. He wears shirts of his own face, and then
He's your example of wearing shirts of your own face.
yeah. Well, you as well.
His doesn't have his face on it though.
It doesn't. I thought you did.
Does it? I thought it just had. I thought it was like that background image, and it has like the name of his show. Mine literally has a picture of my own face with the other host of the show dead and tiny on it.
It's so good.
That is
I love
pretentious.
Okay, true. That's very pretentious.
I have
And
to duck out for a second.
Okay.
I'm going to pee my pants.
do it.
All right, are you guys ready for this?
That's what you're going for, right?
Well, I was about to draw it to a wrap.
It's really weird. I can hear your house.
Hold on. Is he using the
I
vacuum?
think he's using the vacuum.
I wonder if it works.
We're gonna find out when he comes in as a level 4.
See, this is what they say about penis pumps. Like, it will make your dick like big and hard. So, will a house vacuum do the same thing for you?
I don't know. Does a penis pump suck or blow? I thought it like blew air and like pumped it up.
No, it sucks. So you like
Oh, does it?
put it on your thing, and then you.
Or does it get blood going?
Yeah, essentially. So it's like,
what's the physics there?
so let's say you take like your mouth and you put it on your arm and you start like sucking. It brings the blood to the surface, right?
I see.
So what you do with the penis pump is you put it on like here, and then it's essentially a syringe, and then not a syringe. It's a what do you call it? Like a vacuum. It's this thing. It's a mechanism what the syringe works off, and then you kind of pull, and then it draws the blood to the surface, and it causes more blood. And blood is the thing that causes erections or increased blood flow.
Does it hurt?
I've never used it, but I don't think so. But I know it can hurt if you have it on too long and it sucks too much blood to the surface.
I see. Interesting. So you're vacuuming your dick.
Yep.
Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. We're talking about penis pumps.
Now the interesting thing is there's been another project come out in recent time called a clit pump, and the clit pump works very similarly. So for people who don't know, clits are analogs, like the female analog of the penis. Or another way to put it is that the penis is the male analog of the clit.
Welcome back.
Yeah, apologies for that.
No, just let the conversation continue.
Well, I have a thing where when I drink energy drinks, I don't know if it's the taurine or the something.
No,
in it,
I gotta piss too.
It's the caffeine. But anyway, so they put it on their clit, and then they have this little like thing that they will
keep going.
They'll just kind of pump, and then it causes the clit to actually engorge with blood, which makes it more sensitive, and then they can play with it better. And sometimes to do it enough, it kind of looks like a tiny little dick.
Love it. Great talk.
Yep.
So what was your final point about pretension?
Oh, nothing. I don't know what I walked back in.
Okay. So
exactly what you thought you walked back into.
Wearing a t-shirt is with your own face is pretentious. Plugging your own shit is pretentious. So Fishik, I want to invite you into the world of pretension. Not that you're not already there because we're all podcasters.
Fair.
But into plugging your own shit.
Oh. Do you have plugs?
Yeah, we have plugs.
Is there any? What do you want to? Where can people find you? Where should they be listening?
See, I can't do dirty joke. I was trying to do a dirty joke, but it just kind of went because it was stupid. See,
so
this is why my show is like G.
We keep butt plugs somewhere, but we lost them. They kind of got lost up there.
They're keeping your HVAC system from going. So if you want to follow the stuff that I'm involved with, we do a podcast that's a parody/satire of morning radio. It's also kind of an audio drama. It follows the lives of me and my 3 co-hosts and our radio station. It's called I Don't Know Radio. If you just search WIDK in your podcast app, you can find it, and follow us on social media at I Don't Know Radio, DUNNO.
One thing you should definitely listen to the podcast for is their fake commercials.
Oh, yeah.
They're very well done. And I saw you live the other week. And what was I'm very impressed with is that you did those live commercials, like live, and it sounded like real commercials. Like the timing was great. I don't know if you rehearsed that like 1,000 times or what, but it just sounded amazing.
Oh, thanks. That was actually kind of a gamble. We didn't know, because we didn't want to go sit there live and have that point where the commercial, we can't not do the commercials. And I didn't want to just play something and be like, stare at the audience. You think this is funny? It's funny,
Laugh.
right?
Laugh.
So we read them each one time before we went. So thanks. It worked really well. You've written a commercial for us. Not you, but your doppelganger basically has done a ton of commercials for us.
No, I do them. Fuck Jared.
All right.
I want that credit.
The line between fiction and reality is a little blurry. Yeah, Meter, you've done a lot of commercials for us.
Wait.
Those were always supposed to be by me, not by him. What are you talking about? Uh-oh.
I can't even keep my fiction straight.
Uh-oh, we crossed our own fiction on your own show. I'm educating you on your
Meter.
Glad to be here.
Who's Jared?
Jared's this guy who he owns he did. I don't know if Big Pussy owns it now, but
Owns the building.
he owns the radio station, and he hates me for whatever reason. And he's just not very cool, but it's whatever.
He got some kind of shady backroom alternate dimension deals with the cat cabal, Big Pussy, and got in a lot of trouble.
He screwed these guys over.
We love him.
I'm gonna say.
We love him. He's great.
So anyway, I definitely highly suggest I Don't Know Radio. Head on over, check them out wherever you get your podcasts. Highly, highly suggested. Other than my own show, second one that I listen to every Monday.
That means a lot. And where can we find you guys?
Here.
If you're watching this, you know where to find us. Check us out. We need to talk.